Hey, Jerick, how much fun was it for you to get back out there, especially in those one-on-ones? And can you kind of take us through how you go about running a choice route and what you try to accomplish?
It was good just getting back out there. In camp. When we got back before and did the walkthroughs, everything's just been, so good and so well. Just being out there with the teammates, the coaches. For me, it's been a long time coming, and just to be back out there on the field, warming up and doing all the small things, the little things. I definitely feel blessed and just happy to be back in the situation that I am today. Choice route. There's a lot of different ways you can run it. For me, like Bobby T always tells us, win the route, just win, beat the man in front of you. So that's what I try to do. Every time my number's called, every time, I'm running that route at one-on-ones, I just try to win and beat the man in front of me.
Hey, Jerick, earlier this offseason when you redid your contract to stay here, why was it so important for you to stay with the Niners and deliver here?
Yeah. So before I signed, um, like I said, when I first came here, it was something special about this organization and what they had going on and the momentum they had, coming out that last season. And that's why I came. It's a lot of young guys, hungry guys, guys that work hard. Playing for Coach Shanahan, and all those things. The reasons that I came here, it wasn't really about the money. So, when the things came up about reconstruction and contract, it wasn't really that big of a deal for me. It was just about proving why I came here and just trying to get back on the field and showcase my talents.
Jerick, we watched you in 2018, and you were impossible to cover. It's all well documented. Do you feel like you're back to that 2018 level at this point? Are you still kind of building to that point, or how would you gauge your health at this point?
Health is good. Every day's a new day, and for me, it's about stacking the days. One after another. Learn as much as I can, knocking off that rust. From not playing 2 years. And just putting myself in those game type situations in practice. We don't have a preseason or stuff like that, so every day I have to put myself, in those extreme situations and environments in my head to make it feel like a game type situation. Because the first chance that I'm gonna get coming back is going to be, game one. It's going to be a real game. It's not going to be, scrimmage or practice or something like that. So I have to, start now.
Hey, Jerick, Jennifer Lee Chan. Trent Taylor was just in here talking to us about what a challenge it was for him not to be able to come back for such an extended time, similar to you. And he spoke about how hard it was to keep his mental health together. How did you handle mentally staying healthy, really dealing with those injuries for such a long period of time?
Um, I can sit up here and say, a thousand things, but the harsh reality of it is, when something like that happens, you do have to go through those mental challenges and emotional challenges, things of that nature. So, for me, it was just about, just leaning on my faith, my loved ones to push me through the time. My teammates, they was always reaching out to me, making sure I was in a good headspace. Coaches reaching out to me, and for that, to me, that was probably the most, I guess, thing that kept me going the most. My teammates and coaches, here reaching out, still encouraging me, and I'm still new to the team and haven't played in any games, so that was just a booster for me throughout the process, just making me go that much harder, and then wanting to come back better than before.
Hey, Jarek. Kyle Shanahan said yesterday he was talking about your work ethic, and he said his only concern with you is that sometimes you overdo it. How do you find that balance between being excited to get out there and not overdoing it?
Um, yeah, that that's kind of hard for me. You know, Outside of all the other things that I possess, I really am big on my work ethic and how I work. Uh, I'm a guy that likes to lead by example. But going through this whole process, like I was saying, just you know, you take everything in doses, and I think that's the best way to look at it. You can't do too much too soon. You can't do too much at the wrong time. You got to know how to just time everything out. But at the same time, it is hard to cut back a little bit. But I've been going through it for 2 years, and I know my body, and I know how this camp schedule works, and I know the toll that it takes on your body. So just trying to make sure it times out really well. But yeah, it's kind of hard for me to tone back a little bit. I work like I'm broke, so it's hard to stop working.
Jerick, this is Chris Biederman from the Sacramento Bee. Kyle Shanahan said yesterday that with Trent Taylor, it got to a point where he wasn't really allowed to ask him about the injury. Have you ever gotten to that point where you have to tell teammates or coaches, like, hey, stop asking about my knee, like I feel fine, I'm far enough removed?
What is it? Mm-hmm. Oh, nah. I mean, a lot of guys, they ask me, how's the knee feeling, stuff like that. I'm comfortable to the point now where I could talk about it. It is one of those things that, you kind of want to put behind you. It was a dark time, and, found myself in a dark place at moments, but, I'm past that point. I'm here to play football. I'm here to get better each and every day. And, I'm just here to compete. That's the main focus, compete, win the day, stack the days, and keep moving.
Hey, Jerick, wanted to ask you about JaMycal Hasty. What are your impressions have been of him? Seems like you all might have similar skill sets, and you're all surprised maybe a guy like that wasn't drafted.
Nah, he's a real good player. He's shifty. He's real fluid in and out of his cuts. He's a smaller guy like myself. He can catch out the backfield. And he's picking up real well on the playbook and stuff like that in the running back meetings. So respecting a lot out of him and other rookies during this camp. But so far he's been really impressive. In the one-on-ones, he had a spin move the other day that was pretty impressive. He was real fluent, stayed on his feet. So I think a lot of guys got excited about that. But he's definitely going to be one of the guys that's going to be exciting throughout camp.
Jerick, back when you first got hurt, Kyle Shanahan was very open, saying that your injury changed a lot of what he was planning, what he had planned for that season. I'm just curious, do you feel like there's an element to this offense that you can bring that maybe hasn't been there that could kind of add a different element that teams haven't seen yet?
It'd be hard to say that, the team haven't seen so many weapons, so many guys that's versatile, in the offense. But I do think I can open up a different element in, my tool set and what I bring to the game. Kyle does a great job at pulling players in, the best situation to succeed. He's a matchup guru at matching guys up and making plays, to their strengths. So, like I said before, I'm just excited to be back, be healthy, and, just here to compete and, bring everything that I can.
Hey, Jerick, it's Cam Inman. What has been your impressions of how vastly improved that defensive line looks when you're practicing against it as opposed to 2 years ago?
I thought they were good 2 years ago, but just watching over the past years, they literally get better and better and better every year. We lost Defoe, but we added Kinlaw, and he's probably one of the biggest humans I've ever seen. He's big upper body, big lower body, big quads, everything on him just big. But at D-line is definitely the toughest in the league by far.
Last one.
Jerick, Jimmy Garoppolo is coming back this season not on an injury, so he felt like he had a little bit more confidence, a little bit more, swagger. What have you seen from him coming back this season, different from what you've seen from him in the past?
What I see, Jimmy? The confidence, there's no question in that. Everybody can see that. He's just bringing the juice, That's the quarterback. Called to play with confidence. He sees the field. He knows what Kyle wants, and he knows how to execute. So, I'm excited to be back and play with him for sure. That was one of the main reasons I came here in 2018. So, I'm excited to be back out there with him as well.